literally it up now. This is it. This is the championship gone by the wayside.
So I'm Sheldon from Linde. I've obviously grown up in South Africa with karting back in the day. I'm now 24 years old, living in Europe for 5 years already. And yeah, it all started back in the day in South Africa with a dream to become a DTM champion one day. It's obviously progressed quite a long time since then. And it's crazy. I mean, just to think how far we've come in these few years already in Europe is insane to think. So the championship story, it began with 7 DNFs in 8 races in DTM in the first year of GT3. And at that time, my brother was fighting for the championship. So it was obviously difficult, super happy for him that he was fighting for the championship. But at the same time, all the spotlight was on him. Everyone forgot that I started in DTM. I wasn't even spoken to or anything that year. And I thought, damn, this is really, this is really a hard pill to swallow. And then in 2022 was the first year of the M4 GT3, so the new GT3 car for BMW. They told me the team that I'm going to drive for, and quite honestly, I was skeptical. I didn't know the team at all. I didn't know how good they would be in that year, and I knew that if I didn't have a good team for the second year, I would really be in deep trouble and not performing and possibly even get kicked out because you never know if it's a car or a team or whatever. I remember Portimao, the first race was okay, but the second race in Lausitzring, I put it on pole, I did the double. In DTM you have success palace, so I never expected to win Sunday's race with, I think it was 20 kilos in the car.
And the races go. Looks like a good start for Sheldon van der Linde. He's got his nose in front of the BMW into the lead of the race. It is the Lausitzring 2022, and it is going to be just about a double win for Sheldon van der Linde.
To keep them behind for a double win in DTM is very rare because of the success palace. And that's literally what skyrocketed me from then. I used the momentum from Lausitzring that whole year. Obviously, you're naturally 30 points ahead after a double win. And then we knew that we somehow won the fight already. Went race by race. And just things started to happen. Results came. It was a consistent result that I could deliver week in and week out. And that's when I knew we were in the game. We were fully in the game for this championship. Coming from such a tough year the year before to all of a sudden being in the championship and all the hype back, Shell back on my car. It just felt so right. And yeah, that's when the nerves really started. I think I was leading the championship from round 2 all the way to the end. But it got really close. The guys actually got overtaken after Norrisring, to be honest. So they closed a massive gap on me. They passed me. I thought, okay, I'll literally it up now. This is it. This is the championship gone by the wayside. And then all of a sudden, we performed in the last few races. I had a non-score on Red Bull Ring, which is the second last race. I had a 30-point lead with 4 races to go, and they closed it down to, I think, 10 points into the last race in Hockenheim. So I knew it would be close. I knew I had to put everything on the line to really salvage those points, and naturally the pressure that you have leading halfway through the year and holding that every single weekend, knowing you can only lose the championship league is like, yeah, that literally gave me grey hair. I'm not gonna lie, that was really, really tough on me. But going into the last race, I had a 10-point lead. There were 5 drivers that could win the championship, so all in different manufacturers. So the BOP naturally plays in different directions, and if you have a lucky weekend, you could be in the right car and take the lead. So I knew that BOP would play a big role in that. So we went into the last weekend. The car was strong on Friday. I had a very, very strong race car, very fast in one lap as well. And then on Saturday, yeah, this was where all the fireworks started, and it was actually a huge, huge problem. It was a good qualifying. I think I qualified P6 on Saturday, so everything within limits. All my rivals were pretty much just in front or around me, so I knew I would be in a perfect position to fight for the championship on Saturday. After qualifying, the guys normally do pit stop practice before the race starts. But there's a rule in Hockenheim because of noise restrictions that you're not allowed to do pit stop practice until a certain time before the race. and all the wheels have to be off the car before that time, just to show that you're not doing pit stops anymore. For some reason, I don't know if the guys were under pressure or whatever it was, but my tires were the only tires on the car with, I think, 3 or 4 seconds to go until this rule started being implemented. And I just saw team bosses running up and down, pointing at my car saying, man, these tires are still in the car. People telling me, shout to your mechanics that the tires should go off the car. I was standing on the pit wall watching this whole movie unfold in front of me. I even went to my race engineer. I said, are you sure this is no penalty? Yeah, we made it. We made it within 2 seconds, no problem, all good. 10 minutes later, I'm sitting in the truck getting ready for the race. He comes walking slowly to me, and you can see there's something wrong. This guy, he got bad news now, and I know exactly what's coming. He says to me, Sheldon, I have to break very bad news to you. And he's like, we got a 10-place grid penalty for the race. And I was like, man. My parents were in the truck with me at that same point before the race, just chatting and whatever. And I remember I had a hat on, I was throwing things around in the truck. I was like, are you man? This is literally, we threw it away now, we've lost it. And for the next half an hour, I was just alone in the truck. I literally told everyone to leave. I said, just give me half an hour to process what should happen, because everyone else was at the front. So they would have flown past me in the championship after that race if I just stayed where I was. And in Hockenheim, it's not so easy to pass. For some reason, all the pressure just dropped off my shoulders because I knew I had nothing to lose anymore. I could only win, I could only gain from that position. I was now the underdog, from being the top dog to the underdog within half an hour. Went into the race with a super open mindset, said whatever happens now, I'm going to drive the wheels of the thing and try and drive to the front and try and save what we've just lost. But not even that, just get a once-off result and try and get it as far forward as possible. The race started, there was a huge shunt in turn 1, which brought out the safety car. And then we had this Indy restart in DTM where it's literally like IndyCar, where it's like a rolling start. So every restart, there's so many chances to make positions, and there's so many chances for shunts as well. Then we had that huge shunt with the Porsche. I don't know if you saw that video where the engine fell out. There was a huge crash, red flag. At that point, I think I was already up to P10 or P11. Somehow escaped all the damage and everything. Don't know how I did. I literally just closed my eyes. My brother's tire even hit me in the windscreen at some point, so I thought that was already gone. Luckily, it just made like a rubber mark on my windscreen, continued going. And then after red flag, I think I restarted in 10th. From there on, just picked them off one by one.
Sheldon van der Linde continued to charge up the order from 16th on the grid. He got up to 8th in the early stages, and this was an important move as he got back at the inside. So 4 to 5 seconds lost for Bortolotti, put him at the back end of the top 10 when he rejoined. Sheldon van der Linde, though, was taking absolutely no prisoners as the championship leader. Next went on the attack for Lucas Stoltz. Justin Verloc in the background, catching them up, and in 4th place was Sheldon van der Linde. Down the inside of the double champion Marco Wittmann he went, and up into 3rd place, and there was still time enough for him to get past Dev Gore. Could he do it? Could he get himself 2nd place? Side by side there went Dev Gore, trying to fend off the championship leader, but it was to no avail. So into 2nd place went van der Linde.
Finished the race in 2nd. Felipe Ronaldo almost won the race. Lucas Au, was my closest contender, won the race, so that was obviously the worst thing that could happen. But I managed to keep the margin within a good good distance for race 2. So he had closed the championship from 11 or 12 points to 2 points into race 2. Then the pressure came back again, because then I knew now we're still in the fight. You know, if the guy's 2 points behind, he's closing. It's all down to Sunday. Sunday there was another red flag in qualifying, which then most of the guys were on their push laps, so I couldn't actually do it. I set a lap time, and I ended up 6th on the grid. Rene was, I think, on pole, and Lucas Au was in the lead or close to me in the championship, was behind me. So that was for me perfect scenario. He's behind me. All I need to do is finish in front of him, and I won the championship. And that's what we did on Sunday. I literally just didn't take any risk. Every little noise I could hear in the gearbox, the tires, pickup, whatever, I thought, man, if something goes wrong now, we have a big problem. And yeah, we drove it to the end. We drove it to the end somehow, and that's by far probably the best day of my life I've ever had.
3rd place and winning the championship title, van der Linde.
Let's go!
seeing those fireworks crossing the line, and after all those emotional roller coasters the whole weekend of basically losing it on Saturday due to not even something I did wrong, and then going to win it in that fashion with such a tight margin going into Sunday was probably the best way you can win a championship. I think it would have been super boring to go into Sunday knowing that you've pretty much got it wrapped up, because naturally then the emotions calm down and it's not as special, but the emotions just came out on Sunday and it was insane, man. That was really the best of my life.
Former champion and boss at the management of DTM, Martin Tomczyk, presented the Champions Trophy to Sheldon van der Linde after an exceptional year.
I have 1,000 things running through my mind right now, and just flashing back to when I was a kid sitting on the couch watching these guys win championships, and I honestly believe that I could be there one day. My family gave me the opportunity to do this, and I have no words. I can just say thank you so much to everyone that believed in me.
The BMW driver had scored 3 wins and 2 pole positions and was, in the end, the dominant driver.